Hey, hi. I wish I had some help editing these, but I have a plan and I just found some software that I think I can do the editing. So hopefully I can put out more pretty pictures instead of having to stare at me all the time. All right, so just made the one about Abraham, Martin, and John. Thoughtful, thought provoking, maybe tear jerking a little bit. But it's the history that me, myself, and I lived with. And many of us, remember I told you, these events aren't singular to me. There's a lot of people that can relate to some of this stuff. And for the younger people, it's really cool to look back. I wish I had stuff like this and my grandmother would have shared about what she lived through during Nazi times. So I'm making these because I love you. I'm a goofball. What are you going to do? Oh, the little cartoon back on maybe the 90s. I'm a baby, gotta love me. One of my office sisters loves that one. Anyway, or at least I think she does. So, last one of the day. I'm starting my costume for this evening, but I wanted to get one more done. Talking to my sister-in-law today, and she reminded me of something that my brother remembers about my dad. So I'm going to make this for that. So, when I talked about my dad, he was always a dreamer, always a aspiring person, like that wanted to be an entrepreneur and be set financially. But he never got there. But some of his journeys along the way were, of course, the restaurant in East Rutherford, where my brother decided to take a walk in the middle of the night. The restaurant in Teaneck. In between, he worked for other restaurants where he was hopeful that he could be more of a partner. He was a jewelry salesman at one point. And one of the last things he did before my mom and dad divorced is that he went to bakery school. And this was a really cool thing because even though he knew how to bake, this was going to make him an official baker, chef type, and he would have arrived. Anyway, what was cool about this and what my brother and I was reminded of was that every day when he came home from baking school, he brought home these donuts or these butternut rolls or other delicious goodies. And he wouldn't just bring home a few. He was allowed to bring home as many as he baked or whoever else didn't want to take their stuff home. It was really awesome. And the fact that my brother remembers that touches my heart because I almost forgot. It was one of the last big projects that was a real sweet memory. He'd come in and we'd be home from school or just getting home from school. Our timings were similar. And so there was I don't know, months, maybe. I don't really remember the time span. But for months on end, there would be just these delicious crullers and twisty donuts and nice warm rolls. And, for that cruddy little apartment we lived in, God bless it, 15 Monroe Street, those baked goods made a difference. It's funny when you attach to food, food attaches to you. Anyway, I just wanted to include that as a happy memory of my dad because, like I told you, coming attractions, Daddy hit a bottom. Papa's delicate condition took over. Anyway, so for now, we'll remember the good. We'll try to remember the good always. So there's a lesson to all y'all that have parents that just disappointed the dickens out of you. Just try to remember the good. You're going to remember the bad anyway. Once you get healed and get past it, process it, and realize your parents really kind of did the best they could, and if they made bad choices, it's because they were layered on top of other bad choices. I mean, I've studied stuff about generational and I've actually seen it in my own work. So, yeah, donuts. Here's to you, Dad. Here's to you, Jimmy. Mwah.